David Menzies for Rebel News here in Washington, D.C. And folks, I'm standing outside the White House. It is the day after the electoral victory of Donald J. Trump and the Republican Party. And what else is there to say when we analyze the election of 2024? Well, why not consider the peanut factor? And when I speak of peanut, I don't speak of the food stuff. I speak of the moniker of a squirrel in New York that was, well, it was a rescue squirrel. Here's the story, and it's one that went viral on many social media platforms last weekend. Mark and Daniela Longo in upstate New York rescued Peanut. Peanut's mother, when Peanut was an infant, was run over by a car, and the tiny little squirrel crawled up Mark's trouser leg, and well, they had no choice but to adopt him. They brought him back to health, but when they released him in the wild, he would always come back to the house. They also adopted a rescue raccoon that would be Fred. And things took a turn for the worse several days ago when several agents with the Departments of Environmental Conservation and Health raided the Longo residence and took possession of Peanut, the squirrel, and Fred, the raccoon. And what did they do with these animals they were saving? Well, they put them down. That's right. They killed two perfectly healthy domesticated animals for, well, reasons that remain a mystery. Now, the political fallout on this is absolutely fascinating. For example, a piece in Vanity Fair had this to say, quote, "Why the death of Peanut, the squirrel, has become a national political event. The right has adopted a euthanized squirrel as a symbol for government overreach." And really, how can you argue such a premise? These were agents of the state actually raiding a household based on one anonymous complaint that took possession of these beautiful animals and killed them. In fact, this is what Elon Musk had to say.
So here's the thing about the whole squirrel thing is that how can it be that we live in America, supposedly land of the free, and the government can barge into your home with guns, so if you resist, you're going to get shot, and then take your pets and execute them. And if they can do that to your pets, what do you think they can do to you?
And I think this was indeed a big factor in the election, the idea of government overreach at all levels.
This report is brought to you by...
Hey folks, Donald J. Trump is officially the next president of the United States of America. And while millions are rejoicing in his victory, there are thousands who are still concerned about their savings. The unfortunate truth is that America is still burdened with $35 trillion, that's right, $35 trillion with a T, in debt. And get a load of this, for the first time in history, the interest on that debt is greater than the entire budget of the U.S. military. Plus, the wars that started under the Biden administration, they're still raging around the globe. So the question is, what can you do to protect your savings? Many Americans are already taking action by reaching out to the top-rated precious metals company, that is Goldco. Right now, Goldco is offering you a free gold and silver kit to show you how precious metals like gold and silver can help you diversify your savings before it's too late. Visit rebelnewsforgold.com to get your copy free of charge. Plus, you could receive a special 10% match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Once again, that's rebelnewsforgold.com, rebelnewsforgold.com. There's another element to this story, folks. Don't you think PETA, that's the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, would be all over this? The idea of two healthy animals essentially being kidnapped and then killed by the state. But no, I went on to their website, I looked at their news releases, and the one thing getting the most attention was PETA doing a victory lap about convincing Starbucks to make soy milk the same price as cow's milk. You see, soy milk, there was an upcharge. Evidently, this was discrimination against vegans. Nowhere in the argument is the issue that it costs more to produce soy milk than it does cow's milk, but never mind. That is the cause celeb of PETA. Now, I did reach out to PETA. They're based here in Washington, D.C., and by email, a PETA spokeswoman by the name of Katie Cryer, she sent me this statement, quote, "At PETA, we lament that this dear squirrel's life was taken when he appears to have been part of the family since his infancy, and it seems his humans didn't realize that the best way to help orphaned wild animals is to take them to a licensed rehabber so as to be prepared to return to nature," end quote. Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? When the authorities got involved, these animals, they weren't rehabilitated, they were slaughtered. And what's more, what do you think is more important? These two beautiful animals in perfect health being killed by the state, or, I don't know, that the vegans now have a price equity when it comes to buying soy milk versus cow's milk. Again, not sure if this was a huge factor or any factor when it comes to the election results of yesterday. But wow, I think given the traction this awful story has received, it does speak volumes about government overreach. And as for PETA, come on guys, give your heads a shake. Let's be honest here. I think the real reason why PETA has been so quiet on the assassination of Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon is that indeed these are stories the right has adopted. PETA, they are inherently left-wing. They don't want to champion the cause of the right, even though in this case, certainly it was the right thing to do. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Donald J. Trump is officially the next U.S. president, and while millions are rejoicing in the victory, there are thousands who are very concerned about their savings. Learn how gold and silver can help you at rebelnewsforgold.com. At Goldco PM, #GoldCoPartner.